Some people delude themselves with beautiful words, rehearsed gestures, and forced smiles, but the chosen ones are different. They see beyond. They do not let themselves be fooled by appearances, because they carry a rare gift, the ability to perceive the essence. A watchful gaze and a sensitive soul reveal more than 1,000 conversations. You don't need years to know someone. It's enough to observe 3 signals, 3 simple behaviors that show who the person truly is. That's what many ignore but the chosen feel. And when they begin to trust this gift, they distance themselves from deception, protect themselves from disappointments, and walk with greater wisdom. The world may doubt, but you know when something is not right. You felt it in the environment, in the attitude, in the energy. And most importantly, this gift is not a weakness, it is protection. Today you will understand how it works, and how to use it to your advantage. Your gaze is a tool of discernment. I am George, and if this topic spoke to you, subscribe here to the channel and turn on notifications. Here we talk about soul, intuition, purpose, and everything the world does not see, but the chosen feel. Let's walk this path together. You are not alone, and this is your place. Not everyone sees what you see. While many readily believe what they hear, the chosen feel something different. They aren't impressed by ready-made speeches, nor by forced charm. They know that words can be beautiful, but not always true. What guides them is what they feel inside, not what they hear on the outside. It's common for them to approach someone and for no apparent reason, feel discomfort. An internal alert, something saying, "There's something here that doesn't fit." It isn't about judgment, it's perception, a sensitivity that goes beyond logic. It's as if the soul speaks first, even before the mind understands. This gift of seeing beyond appearances doesn't come from reading, study, or experience. It's natural. Almost always, it was born with the chosen. From an early age, they already noticed when something wasn't right. Even when everyone around was delighted, they felt that something was out of place. This perception has accompanied them their entire life. Often, this gift saved them from greater pains. Other times it was ignored, and the consequence came in the form of disappointment. But over time, the chosen learned to trust this gaze more. They learn that feeling is a form of wisdom, and that wisdom protects them from traps that aren't always visible. It's common that others do not understand. Some say the chosen are cold, hard, or too suspicious. But what they don't know is that behind that caution, there is a history of wounds avoided. There is the desire to keep inner peace. And that peace, for the chosen, is worth more than any external approval. While many are enchanted by sparkle, the chosen look at the root. They observe what lies behind the smile. They feel the weight of the gaze. They grasp the intention behind a kind word. It isn't ill will, it's sensitivity. A fine intuition, like an internal compass, that points to what is true. The chosen don't need a lot of time to perceive who someone really is. A gesture, a phrase, a reaction already say a lot. They observe what others ignore. An impatient glance, a masked tone of voice, an energy that changes the environment. All of this reveals more than 1,000 words could. This perception can also be a burden. It isn't always easy to see beyond. Sometimes the chosen sees things they would rather not see. They sense falsity where affection should be. They perceive selfishness in seemingly generous gestures. And that hurts, because they would like to trust, would like to surrender without restraint, but they can't ignore what they feel. Even so, this gift is a gift. It protects, it guides, It preserves the chosen from wrong paths. While others get lost in appearances, they stay firm, attentive, more connected to what is real, not out of pride, but out of necessity. The chosen knows they cannot be easily deceived. Their mission requires clarity. Their relationships must be true. Their journey calls for lightness. And none of this is possible if they are surrounded by fake people or hidden intentions. Therefore, the gift of seeing beyond is so valuable. It guides, it reveals, and above all, it honors the purpose that the chosen carries. Want to truly know someone? See how they react when things don't go the way they wanted. Frustration is one of the most revealing tests of the human soul. When everything is fine, it's easy to be kind. But when pride is wounded, that's where true character appears. The chosen ones know this. A big scandal isn't necessary. Sometimes a simple no, a simple delay, a small mistake, and suddenly the mask falls. Patience disappears. The posture changes. The tone rises. And what was hidden overflows. Frustration acts like a mirror. It shows what is really stored inside a person. The chosen observe this moment with attention. They know the problem isn't the no someone receives, but what they do with it. If there is maturity, the reaction will be calm. There will be understanding, or at least respect. But if the soul is full of ego, frustration becomes an explosion. It's like swaying a teacup. What comes out doesn't depend on the sway, but on what was inside. If there is bitterness, that will come. If there is peace, it will be the peace that remains. The chosen know. Crises do not form character, they merely reveal. And for this reason, they pay attention to these moments. The person who is only kind when everything goes well is not trustworthy. It's easy to stay calm when you are being favored. The challenge is in loss, in discomfort, in the unforeseen. It is in this environment that the true self appears. And the chosen learns to identify this over time with the attentive gaze they carry. Many appear sweet in the first conversations, but a few small frustrations reveal control, anger, intolerance. The chosen does not judge these reactions, but records them. They understand that this is a signal, a warning sign, something that needs to be taken into account before getting too close. Observing how someone handles frustration is an act of self-care. It's the most direct way to avoid bonds that will hurt later. The chosen does not want perfect relationships, but real ones. And real is the one that maintains respect even when it's hurt. Who does not lash out at others what they feel. This simple signal is ignored by many, but not by those who see beyond. The chosen know that the true test of character is not in words, but in reactions. And those who learn to observe this avoid a lot of pain. They protect their own heart. And they only approach those who have the maturity to walk together. Do you want to know the true character of someone? Observe how this person treats those who cannot offer anything in return. The small gestures in simple situations say more about a soul than beautiful words or posts full of virtues. It is in the everyday, away from the limelight, that someone's heart is revealed. The delivery person, the doorman, the cleaner, the waiter, the elderly in line, the unknown child, all of these are mirrors. They have no power, no position, they offer no return. And it is exactly there that the truth appears. Those who treat only the great well are usually interested in status. Those who are kind to the small reveal real kindness. The chosen quickly notices this. He does not fool himself with decorated speeches or ready smiles. What touches him is the simple gesture. The way someone says, "Good morning" to someone no one usually sees. The way they respond to someone humble, the look they offer, or the indifference they carry. All of this matters. The kindness that must be seen to exist is not real, it is acting. Those who are kind only when there is an advantage involved are playing a role. But those who act with respect, even when no one is watching, this one shows a clean heart. The chosen values this because he feels what comes from the heart and what comes from self-interest. People who ignore the small are revealing their inner size. Those who consider themselves superior to someone because of money, position, or appearance have still not understood anything about humanity. The chosen cannot stand this kind of attitude. They sense immediately when someone acts with contempt, even if masked in politeness. It is not about grand gestures. It is about silent respect, about saying please without arrogance, about looking into the eyes of the person who serves, about thanking sincerely, about not treating anyone as invisible. The small ones are disguised teachers. They reveal what the great hide. That is why the chosen always observe them. This is a simple but powerful test. A badly given good day, an ignored request, an arrogant tone with someone humble. These signals speak loudly. They show that behind appearances there may be arrogance, vanity, or coldness. The chosen feels this immediately. It is like an internal alarm that goes off in silence. And when this alarm sounds, the chosen steps back. Because he knows that if a person does not respect those who are beneath them, they will not respect those beside them either. Kindness should not be selective. It is a trait of character, not a publicity strategy. And this is not learned, it is felt. Society tries to convince us that titles and appearances define someone. But the chosen knows that it is the opposite. What defines someone is how they treat those who have nothing. That is the revelation. That is where the truth resides. Those who humiliate the small, sooner or later, reveal who they are. The chosen's gaze is trained by sensitivity. He does not need long proofs. One moment is enough. And even if no one noticed, he saw. And once he saw, he can no longer ignore, because his soul recognizes the energy behind the gesture. And that energy does not lie. Words enchant, but actions prove. Many say they are empathetic, loving, and humble. But in practice, they live the opposite. They say, count on me, but disappear. They preach peace, but spread conflict. They talk of light, but act in darkness. And the chosen are able to see this in even the smallest details. This incoherence, for the sensitive, does not go unnoticed. The chosen do not need grand signs. They perceive when there is a mismatch between what someone says and what they do. It's not judgment, it's perception. It's as if the person's body says one thing, but the soul says another. And the chosen feel what comes from the soul. They notice when someone promises and does not keep. When they take a stand on social media with beautiful phrases, but treat those around them poorly. When they say they love God, but ignore their neighbor. And that wounds more than any offensive word, because it is the contradiction that destroys trust. Speech can be manipulated, action cannot. It reveals, it escapes control. And that's where the true self appears. The chosen does not demand perfection, but seeks truth. People who speak little and do much, who do not need to announce kindness because it naturally appears in their conduct. Many strive to seem good. They rehearse lines, copy behaviors, repeat words of wisdom. But in daily life, they cannot sustain it. They lose patience easily, act with coldness, ignore what they once defended. The chosen notices and steps away, not out of pride, but for protection. This sensitivity is like a shield. It protects from shallow relationships and future disappointments. When someone shows coherence, the chosen feels at peace. But when constant contradiction is noticed, he remains silent and distances himself. He does not need to argue. nor prove anything. He only observes. Because he knows that time always confirms what he already felt. Whoever is coherent conveys security. Even in silence, their energy is stable. They speak with their gaze, confirm with their gestures. They don't need to assert themselves. They simply live what they believe. And that, for the chosen, is worth more than any pretty phrase. Because coherence is character in motion, and character is the foundation for any true relationship. The chosen understand that there is no spirituality without coherence, that there is no real love without action, that faith without practice is only talk. They are not impressed by those who speak loudly, but by those who live in silence what they believe. And it is with these people that the chosen connect. The chosen ones know how to wait. They don't need to wrench truths from anyone, nor pressure situations to get answers. They trust in time, in repeated behavior, and in silence. They know that, when everything is quiet, the masks begin to slide. Haste reveals little, but silence reveals everything, with calm, clarity, and precision. Many people rush to trust. They hear a good story, believe in a well-structured discourse, be dazzled by flashy gestures. But the chosen ones do not operate that way. They observe. They listen more than the words. They feel the energy behind each sentence, and they prefer to wait rather than delude themselves. Silence is a powerful tool. It does not pressure, invade, or demand. It allows the truth to appear by itself. The chosen have already noticed that people show who they are in small things, in how they treat someone when they are not being watched, in how they behave when they think they are not being evaluated. Moments of stress, fatigue, frustration, all of them say more about someone than any trained speech. And it is in these moments that the chosen remain alert, yet silent. He does not accuse, he does not point, he merely records. Because he knows time is the greatest revealer there is. This silent stance can make some people uncomfortable. After all, the world is accustomed to immediate judgments or impulsive reactions. But the chosen does not move on impulse. He trusts intuition, and above all, waiting. He lets time take care of showing what words tried to hide. It is not disinterest, it is wisdom. Silence is not empty, it is full of perception. While everything seems calm, the chosen is analyzing the small contradictions, the repeated gestures, what is said today and forgotten tomorrow. And this silent analysis is what keeps him protected. It is common for the chosen to remain silent while everyone else speaks. He listens attentively, not to respond but to understand. He does not feel the urge to take a position, because he knows that soon the true character of each person will be revealed, without him having to say a word. This patience in not acting immediately comes from experience. It comes from previous times when he rushed and was disappointed. It comes from the pain of having trusted too much in someone who spoke nicely. That's why today he prefers silence. He understands that waiting, in this case, is a sign of strength, not weakness. Silence also serves as a mirror. It shows who does not know how to handle the absence of control. Impatient people reveal a lot when they are not heard promptly. Manipulative people grow restless when their words have no effect, and the chosen notice this clearly, even without saying anything. The truth always finds a way to appear, and the chosen trusts that. He doesn't need to chase after it. He simply lets time act. And when the truth comes to light, he was already prepared, because his silence had already revealed everything others pretended not to see. Seeing too much is a gift, but it is also a burden. The chosen carry the sensitivity to see what many do not see. They do not merely observe behaviors. They feel. They perceive what lies behind the words. They identify what is wrong even when everything seems right to others. This gift protects them, but it also wounds them. because it isn't always easy to deal with what is seen. The smiling mask, strategic kindness, rehearsed speech. All of this hurts more when you know it is false. And while others are enchanted, the chosen feel a deep unease inside. The pain of seeing too much is quiet. It cannot be explained to everyone. It is hard to justify the reason for pulling away, the refusal to get close, the silence before what seems harmless. But the chosen knows. They feel in their heart when something isn't right, and they cannot pretend they did not see. Seeing beyond is solitary, because it isn't always possible to share what was perceived. Some people won't believe. Others will call it an exaggeration. So the chosen keeps it to themselves. They protect themselves in silence and proceed with more caution, even if that distances them from bonds that seem promising. But this sensitivity is also protection, because those who see early withdraw early, and avoiding something that would bring pain in the future is a gift. The chosen may suffer at the start by distancing themselves, but over time, they are grateful for not having plunged into something that wasn't true. The chosen notice when interest is disguised as friendship. They feel when there is ego behind the compliment. They sense when a hidden intention hides behind a favor. And upon noticing this, they do not need to confront. They simply step back. Because they know that early withdrawal hurts less than deep disappointment. This sensitivity is a filter, and even though it can be tiring at times, it prevents bonds that would drain energy, time, and peace. The chosen learn to trust this gaze. They learn to value this capacity to feel. And even when it places them in a position of isolation, they understand, better to be alone than surrounded by falsehood. With time, the chosen transform this pain into strength. They understand that the gift of seeing is not a curse, but a mission. It is what keeps them protected, aligned, faithful to what truly matters. And though not easy, it is this gift that keeps them standing with a clean heart and an unobstructed path. This gift of seeing beyond appearances is not a coincidence. It was given to the chosen with intention. It is not just a natural sensitivity, but a spiritual tool. An inner beacon that guides and protects them along a journey that requires clarity, discernment, and firmness. The chosen carry specific missions. Their lives do not follow the ordinary flow. Therefore, they need more care with the path they tread and with whom they walk alongside. A wrong choice of company can delay, distract, or even derail an entire purpose. And it is precisely to avoid this that the gift of perception was given. Seeing beyond appearances allows the chosen to filter their connections better. Not every compliment is sincere. Not every hand extended comes to help. Often what seems beautiful on the outside is corrupted inside, and the chosen can perceive this before it's too late. This gift also helps keep the heart pure. When hidden intentions are perceived, the chosen avoid entering relationships based on illusion. This protects them from unnecessary emotional wounds and preserves the energy that would be drained by toxic bonds. Walking lightly requires this kind of protection. Furthermore, this sensitivity serves as a radar for opportunities. The chosen do not fall for empty promises or seductive proposals that hide traps. They feel when something does not align with their mission. And even if they cannot explain why, they know when it's better to pull back. This discernment helps them stay at the center of purpose. Rather than following the movement of the majority, they follow the direction of truth. And that demands courage, because often the most truthful path is also the loneliest. But those who have this gift understand that it's better to walk alone than in bad company. The gift of seeing what is hidden also awakens responsibility. The chosen were not called to judge, but to guard. They do not use this vision to point out others' errors, but to protect their own heart and keep focus on the mission they carry. This keen gaze is also a gift to those around them. When used well, it becomes wise counsel, careful alertness, and protective love. The chosen are often the ones who warn before something happens, and even when they are not always heard, they plant seeds of perception in people. It's important to remember that this gift does not mean perfection. The chosen also makes mistakes, is misled, and suffers. But they learn quickly. They feel when something isn't right. And even after falling, they can rise more aware and stronger. Over time, the chosen come to trust this gift more. Even when everyone around doubts, they listen to their heart. Even when it seems like exaggeration, they stay vigilant. Because they've understood that this sensitivity is a way for God to guide them with greater precision. The purpose of this gift is to keep the chosen on the right path, to prevent them from getting lost in the midst of the crowd, to preserve their truth amid the noise of false appearances, and to ensure they connect only with those who resonate with the same truth. This gift was given to be used wisely, so that the chosen can stand firm, without carrying unnecessary burdens, without getting distracted by empty promises, and so that they fulfill what only they can accomplish, with lightness, awareness, and protection. Chosen one, you do not need years to know someone. Just observe 3 things. How the person reacts to frustration, how they treat those who cannot reciprocate, and whether there is coherence between what they say and what they do. These 3 signals reveal the essence of any person. And you, with your sensitivity, have the ability to perceive this quickly. Do not ignore this gift. It is a shield against deceit and a compass for true relationships. Now I want to hear from you. Have you noticed these signals in someone? Write your experience in the comments. Your sharing may help other chosen ones protect themselves too.